be talking about Kafka. We won't do slides because of time. I'm Kim. I'm a noob in Clojure, but I am very experienced in Scala. So I do a lot of data, pipelines, event-driven architecture, concurrency. Must sound familiar to a lot of you guys. This is why I love to use Kafka. What is Kafka for anybody who might not have ever heard of it? It's basically as if a queue and a database had a baby. It's amazing. It's great if you're doing event-driven architecture. It's very good for scaling horizontally because you can imagine the Kafka broker, which are your servers. That is the actual Apache Kafka product. You can imagine it like a river, and you have your producers putting like a message in a bottle, and you have your consumers picking up the message, and you can have as many producers and as many consumers as you would like, which is very cool and very useful. So the producers and the consumers in this tale are your applications with your business logic. The broker is the Kafka server. Your messages are grouped in topics. Your topics are sharded into partitions. Partitions are useful because they allow you to do the parallel processing, because one part of the topic will live in one broker, another part will live in another broker. It allows you to have much higher performance. The way that the makers of Kafka describe it is a distributed, partitioned, replicated commit log service. So a distributed, partitioned, replicated commit log service. What does this mean? Distributed. It's located on different machines. Yeah, I keep saying the different brokers. Distributed. Partitioned. The topics are divided into partitions so that you can process in parallel and have your data flow through very quickly so that it's high performant. And then we have replicated because the different partitions are replicated on different brokers so that you have data security. Now, because there is so much replication and horizontal scalability in different instances, this is where the complexity is. Because basically Kafka needs to keep track of where all your partitions live. Your different consumers look to different partitions. All of this is coordinated within Kafka. This is where the complexity lies. If it's good, it works like a charm. If it's bad, it's terrible. So what should you do? You should make sure that it stays good. Yes, just don't fuck up. Great advice. But it's true, because once you have a lag or you start rebalancing, that's when you're fucked. So what is a rebalance? I mentioned consumers. You can have multiple consumers in a consumer group. The moment a consumer drops from the group or joins the group, Kafka does a rebalance to reassign the partitions. If you enter a cycle of rebalances that keep repeating, that's when you're fucked. So that's what you need to avoid. How do you do this? Put thought into your partitioning. That's not directly related to that, but that's just something you should do in general. To fully harness the power of Kafka, put a lot of thought into your partitioning strategy. To prevent lag from building up, this is the big thing, configure it right. So read the book, look into the settings, configure it right for your use case. Your delivery time at milliseconds for the producer should be greater than how long it takes to recover from a crashed broker. Your consuming applications shouldn't have a risk of having very long-running processes that time out. Because if the consumer times out, it's not going to take from the queue, then the lag builds up, then the risk builds up. Don't do that. So, how do you avoid unnecessary rebalances? Configure it well.
9.
Look at your session timeout, milliseconds, your
7.
heartbeat intervals.
6.
All right, that was my talk. Come find me if you want to talk to me. I love talking about it.
Bye.